Yes.
Everybody got their arms around everything here? 'Cause some of these questions are kind of indicating maybe we don't have our arms around this.
We're just realists.
Okay, okay. Then perhaps we should go ahead and go through the agreement.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Article 1 is all the bad news. All the bad news is in Article 1. After that, there's no more bad news. All conventional yard service, foreman only. All hybrid service, one foreman and one helper. And today, we do not have scope over the hybrid service.
What do you mean by that?
The hybrid service is an engineer and a helper, correct?
It's two ground service employees working RCO. One of them is 240 qualified under federal regs to go up and sit down at the control stand and run conventional.
Now, where does that happen now?
I don't know that it's happening.
Did they have nowhere?
They've tried.
gonna let that slide?
How is that gonna?
They've already relinquished it.
Okay, you
Go back.
said 240 qualified, are we talking like hospital qualified?
No, 240
I'm not
is-
sure what 240
240 is full-blown engineer.
So,
Well, how do you get
Now you
240
turn-
qualified without having a car?
We'll get to that.
okay.
We'll get to that.
2007 PLE agreement says a hybrid job is an engineer.
All non-through freight, road service, that's, road slickers, locals, et cetera, conductor only. And through freight road service, no onboard conductor, but it requires that its territory be covered by a roving master conductor and an operational PTC type system be in place.
Now, your non-through freight road service conductor only, now will he be considered a master conductor?
No. Nope.
So he gets twice the work and not twice the pay.
Only if he does twice.
Only if it does twice the work.
He will be doing twice the work. Been there,
Only
done
if he
that.
does, only a good conductor will do it. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, only if you do it twice the work.
Let's
They may have to put more
investigation
jobs.
notice on that. I think it'd be, what's the word?
Otherwise, there must be an onboard conductor. Article 2, existing crew consist moratorium preserved is pretty straightforward. It just, whatever was not altered from the old crew consist by this new proposal, the moratorium just goes right back on it. And we're waiting for the last 1980 protected guy to retire. Article 3, ground service employee protection. Defines class of protected ground service employees, PGSE. No PGSE can be involuntarily furloughed. Reserve boards, if unable to hold because of this agreement, and I understand that this is kind of voodoo to you guys. Everybody seems to think the carrier can just manipulate the numbers or just cut the reserve board and force everybody to a retention board. We've got some slides at the end of this thing that I think can demonstrate how that can't happen. It's a mathematical formula.
Where's it at? Yeah, where's it at? Why is this not in writing? We don't know.
It is there, it's just.
Just not in the agreement. It's there, but just not in the agreement.
Well, when it says you're qualified for the reserve board, if you're unable to hold because of this agreement,
What if about a downturn in business? What happens to you then?
retention board.
That's right.
Who gets to decide?
What's the point to determine that?
Let the man go through, then we'll ask questions.
It's at the end.
If that be-
Lifetime moratorium on notices to change PGSE protection. It's similar to what the protected employees got in 1980. Carrier may offer buyouts in amounts no less than 100K. Question. I'm concerned that the carrier will be able to manipulate the numbers in order to keep employees from getting to the reserve board. What will determine whether or not an employee is unable to hold because of a downturn in business? After an employee becomes unable to hold on his/her subdivided seniority district and requests reserve status, if the carrier is going to deny that request, the onus is on the carrier to show that the requesting employee could not have held a position on that subdivided seniority district even if current crew consist staffing was restored.
Where's that subdivided territory at? How far does it go?
It's the, let's call it Birmingham zone on the Midwest.
So it's just in Birmingham, we can't, oh, in
Well,
Birmingham.
in your outlying location.
Well,
So
ours
we're
are local.
Man,
Just for local, so.
Whatever your extra.
Whatever your extra.
Whatever your extra work covers. The source of supply for the jobs that are filled from the area is here.
Well, yeah, you can be for it. Do the local.
Can be from the reserve board, one contiguous.
Yeah, that's what it went like.
That would be Avery for you guys.
Yeah, if it's one of them areas.
Amory would be as far as we could be forced to go.
If Avery got shut down, we could go to Memphis.
Well, they've been trying to do that for years.
Well, don't the conductor board protect the Memphis ends?
No longer I would say that it was a terminal when this agreement. Now, will we have a dispute over that if and when Amory gets shut down? No, I can't say.
What about the fact that we can't hold and we wanna go somewhere else? Can we use our Midwest
You
index for
have
that?
the ability to go chase work to your heart's content.
Far out, stay.
So they're
As
well,
far as bonus money and stuff, I mean, the transfer agreement will still be in effect. It will be
Your
there.
follow the work rule will be in effect too. If you can't hold, you can't go to PSG and you have to go to Amory. So that's going to place you into the 50-mile rule or the borrow out status.
You couldn't voluntarily go to Amory and get temporary transfer bonuses if that's your corporate transfer.
No, if this forces you to go to Amory.
This won't force you to go to Amory. Oh, if they force you to go to Amory, no. No.
So
If you're forced from the reserve board to Amory, you've got the 60-day temporary lodging.
But you'll still be able to use your seniority anyway, even though you're
It's only a way for them to get you off the reserve board, to force you to Amory. Once you're recalled to active service, you're free to exercise wherever.
Well, a question.
Inside this circle, what's going to be protected? What would keep the company from saying like Memphis was short of people, the next plus the terminal had a surplus on the retention board to force them and not have a borrow out? What would keep them from doing that?
Not sure I'm following.
Well, if they had a surplus of people on their reserve or retention board, if the next plus the terminal.
Just say Birmingham.
Well, let's just say Birmingham. Birmingham had a surplus, Amory had a shortage. That's not gonna happen, but if they did, what would keep Birmingham or the company from sending the surplus to Birmingham to Amory to keep from calling the borrow out?
Nothing. This, from the reserve board, if jobs are cut here in Birmingham and people are on the reserve board here, we're basically in the agreement, they can force people to the next contiguous.
So inside the circle, it's gonna protect that takes borrow out. The question if there's a surplus of employees at the next closest location.
I don't know that that's absolute, but yeah, I can go there.
Excuse me, what does it mean when it says this parent will be followed? Next closest by highway miles.
That's if, since you guys are at the end of the line, that doesn't apply. This would be, let's get up here in the middle somewhere, Memphis. Okay, and I don't know whether Chaffee, Thayer, or Avery, which one's closer. But the agreement says they've got to go to the closest location first. If there's nobody on the reserve board at that closest location, what that's saying is now you go to the next furthest, or the next location.
So that's the particular part that we don't apply.
It won't apply to Birmingham,
Maybe or
because
nothing.
you're at the end of the line. There's nothing, there's not gonna be a.
Amory's basically our buffer zone, is that? That's
Well,
nothing.
you're not
It's
gonna
our
get in that situation where
Berlin
they
Wall.
can pick from multiple places to bring you.
Once we keep them going to Birmingham, when they can, once they exercise their seniority, when they come to Birmingham, they can say, well, someone also reserve.
That's what I was, yeah.
They can, but they've gotta come down here and establish, they've got to get an assignment down. And they can,
You might get
just.
assignment for somewhere, you might get assignment where you have seniority.
You don't just create a bump.
He's talking about the reserve board.
Yeah.
Okay, but displacing to the reserve board, here's the scenario, I think you're saying. A guy from Memphis sees that you're on the reserve board down here, and he wants to get to the reserve board, okay? He can he can bump or displace, obtain a position here in Birmingham. And then he's qualified, if he's senior to you, he can displace you from the, he's gotta get your reserve slot. Which means that when he goes to the reserve board, there's a hole that he's leaving off. Yeah, but this guy that just came down here. Hey, if he can't hold, he stays on the reserve board. If he can't hold because of this agreement, he still can't hold.
But I don't think that is maintenance, right?
We've got to get to that downturn business. I know it's got you confused. I get it. And it really is, I mean, I guess I should be careful what I say, but it really is a simple math formula.
Where's the number?
Basically, if under today's conditions, if you were furloughed, now you have the option of a retention board. You won't, there's no furlough ever again. So if you were gonna be furloughed today, you would be on the retention
Where's
board.
the number of
Otherwise,
jobs? Where's the snapshot? That's what everybody wants to know. Where are the numbers? Because they're gonna present whatever they present.
you know, Steve's got, and maybe that's where he's going. There's an
That's
example.
what everybody asks for. Where are the numbers? How many jobs do we have now? How many are gonna be there? And they come at you and say, you wouldn't have been able to hold any of them. And we're all gonna go, we don't have the computer system to look back and say, oh, hey, remember when we had all these jobs? We're not gonna have that.
If January 1st, 20 people do not hold active service, 20 people go to the reserve.
So there's no set number.
Everybody's looking for a number. It's a
Reserve board
is
basically an entity. It doesn't turn it into the single position thing, is that what you're saying? No.
Process to go to how long you have to prove that you are unable to hold, they have to prove that you are unable to hold.
Well, if you can't hold active service here in Birmingham, then you can request the reserve board, or you can take your bump and go somewhere else, wherever you're senior. That still is effect, but you can request the reserve board. And if it's, and if you can't hold active service because of this agreement, then you absolutely entitled to the reserve board. If you were gonna be furloughed today, because of business levels, you're gonna be furloughed today, then the retention board is an option.
But how long will that process take?
How long, it's,
Your qualification for the reserve board begins on the day you become unable to hold it. However long they take to make that determination, your pay is going to go back to that date.
Are they a number that they're putting on this reserve board? If we can't hold active service, are they a number that they're?
there is no limit, no.
So you put as many, some of them on there?
Now, here's where we're getting some confusion. The carrier has sole control of our guaranteed extra boards, but they don't have sole control of this retention board. That is not under their control whatsoever. The bottom line is, if it's because of the agreement that you can't hold active service here in Birmingham, you can request the reserve board, the reserve board, and they have to put you on the reserve board. Okay? And the gentleman here says, that's not good business to pay a bunch of guys 100% to stay on that reserve board. I absolutely agree. And if they thought that they were going to pay a bunch of guys 100% to sit on the reserve board, they wouldn't have signed with them. They're going to use everybody. They are going to use more. They're going to use more than you think.
Wouldn't they just get
See,
rid of
the language is identical to the 1993 crew consist agreement, and we did have reserve boards. The language is identical. It worked then. It is good.
For one job in the yard.
It was what now?
One position on the reserve board for one yard job.
Because only one helper came off the yard job. Yeah.
But two brakemen come off of the road too. I mean, it is the same language. It worked in '93. We only had people on the reserve board for 6 to 8 months.
That's why they hired me in that board, because they didn't have anybody to work.
Right.
Now we have an influx of employees that are getting cut off all the time. We got classes in there right now that are, we have got more people working now than this company has ever had before. And we got a new class fixing to start. We got guys just come out of class. And as bad as it sounds, I know some of them guys are about to get cut off. Well, when they come there and implement this, it's gonna cut the workforce. There's no way around it.
I mean,
There's no way around.
you got 20-something guys or more, 30-something guys in Birmingham that can't even hold, and they had to go other places to find jobs. Me personally, I don't see where all these guys can hold a job in Birmingham. You got 16, 15, 16 jobs counting, or Memphis, counting there, and then you got, in the yard, not counting the yard.
So are they holding jobs today? I guess that's what I need to know.
Away from the terminal.
But not in Birmingham?
Not in Birmingham.
Okay, this won't help them any, it won't, if they're not in Birmingham.
They're on borrow outs.
They're on borrow outs,
Oh, I
they had to
see.
go to try to find money because they can't work.
And if they didn't chase work or accept a temporary transfer somewhere, they would be furloughed?
Yes,
Right?
correct.
Okay. The difference between then or now and then is that if that scenario, that same scenario that would furlough those guys today, put them on the workforce retention board. Mandated on it.
$600
The difference between this workforce retention board
Which is
and the
less
one
than
we had
unemployment.
before was
And
the
then you gotta
first
pay
one
your
was
health
the
care.
carrier's
Then you gotta
option.
pay your union.
It was unilaterally offered by the carrier.
Bring home a whopping
And when they didn't want to pay
$700
anybody to be on the workforce retention board anymore, they simply cut them
Yeah.
off. We didn't have an agreement. Pardon?
You mean reserve or?
No, he's talking about the retention board that they were talking about earlier.
It's not the same retention. You don't have to protect any service at 8 days, month.
Well, they can't cancel it. They can't say, we don't have a reserve, or we don't have a retention
So
board.
you still hold your insurance and all?
Insurance is covered.
Vacation credits.
But the thing about it is,
Railroad
where
retirement.
you make the $1,300 on the retention board.
A month.
Once they cut tax,
No, it's a half.
insurance,
That's right, that's
union
right.
dues, all that, they'll be lucky to bring home $800.
The retention board is $1,300.
Railroad really
No, his retention board's 1,300 and a half. Reserve board's 100% of.
I thought it was $600 every 2 weeks, $600 a week,
Today would be
16
furlough
some
for
weeks.
unemployment, no insurance. Well, insurance for another 120 days. That's
I think if you're on that board, they
Yeah, but if you have something happen.
Yeah, but I don't think they count every day. I think it's percentage based.
Well, you're gonna have to pay your copay and all that, sure.
Yeah, well, then you ain't gonna even have a paycheck.
Is there any
I know,
formula
but
to
if
determine?
you're on unemployment and your insurance run out, you're gonna be in the same shape, probably worse, I would say.
Is there any formula to determine, what board you'll be placed on? If it's for a downturn of business or if there's growth?
I'm sorry. Wait till it's done.
We had a guy the other day say that he had to, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, but he said, he was gonna